we will go through the different variations of the Hubud Lubud drill. Today I will just show what variations there are. Note that this is a JKD-ish interpretation of mostly Filipino styles. So please note, this is not Wing Chun. If you're interested in Wing Chun drills, go visit China Boxer, link as seen here. He is the online source for anything you want to have on Wing Chun. So what I do is Filipino drills, Kali drills, that kind of stuff with a GKD-ish way of saying I don't care for style, I care if it suits me and if it works for me, or if I can make it somehow useful. So, let's start this. I hope I'm in the image. Let's start with a classical wedge entry upward Hubud. Please give me a hammer. Exactly. So we go in like this. Note the hand position. Then we do the undercut, a slide control. Here we come with a slap pin. I return the hammer. She does the wedge, does the undercut, the control, the hammer. We do this deliberately slowly. And so forth. Now, give me a hammer again. I can also take her with a slap entry. So, note, again, this is the wedge entry. I am on her inside line. This being her inside line, all that being her outside line. And, again please, this is a wedge entry, which normally ends up in the inside line. And there is also the slap entry, which is on her outside line, preferably, at least for the beginning of the drill. Now, note that with a... Note, if we go in there, we don't want to waste our time to learn a dozen different motions. So, I have the same shape. Give me a hammer fist. Thank you. Give me a hammer fist again. Note, it is the same shape of my hand. What I do is an upward motion, actually straight up. And the rest is done with body contortion or with footwork. You can't see that right now because I'm filming from the tripod. My camera person betrayed me. And so we are filming from an immobile tripod. And so you do a lot of the positioning with body contortion, bobbing, dodging, weaving, but the actual hand motion is you go up with the hand like this. Again. So I can take her with the same shape of my arm, with a slap or with the outside motion. While you do formal practice, you do only one. Again. Stop. Now we will do the other again. Yes. Note that I can't do the movement and the step work perfect because the camera angle is very narrow. So in order to let you see everything, I cannot make too wide steps because probably right now half of what you should see is outside the camera angle. I am filming under severe strict limitations, all for your benefit. I hope you... Just kidding, just kidding. Okay, now we do it on exactly this level. Note that the shape of my arm is again the same. I'm pushing it for... Please, you come with a straight punch. I'm pushing my arm forward to the undercut, pin, and I come, yes. Thank you. And we can do the same thing. If I'm standing a little bit different, come again with a straight punch. I could also go with this straight arm in to the undercut and come here. Now that looks a little bit artificial, and I will show this when I have a camera person and a bit immobile, because if I cannot do this with footwork, it is actually, it not only looks artificial, it is artificial and useless. So on the mid-level we will at the moment just talk about the slap entry, Hubud. Or if you are more JKD Wing Chun-ish oriented, call it Pak Sao. But since this is definitely not Wing Chun, I'm not qualified enough for this, I will stay with the word slap entry. And now we also have Hubud, 2 Hubuds on the low line. Give me a low one. Abasa.
Okay.
Thank you. So we have again a slap entry. I've shown this once already with Fabian. Wedge. You have the control here. You come from under, on the elbow. I have now nice control of her elbow. And I could do all kind of nasty things here. Of course, for the sake of the drill, I come with an uppercut and she takes it. As you can see, my wife prefers the wedge entry. For the sake of the drill, she will do the slap entry. So we will do this extremely slow, please. You are way too fast. Slow. Thank you. Slap. There is a turning of the body. After all, ultimately all these drills are also serve to do knife work. So, for the empty hand, partly they are overdone, but they are line familiarization drills mostly. So in other words, this is a kind of a neurological shell actually that you are building, from which you can build all kind of nasty stuff. Okay, of course the question is, this is okay if a rather straight uppercut comes, but what is if somebody swings wild like this? Exactly, then we do it like this. Yeah, yes. Okay, last not least, we have the, or let us say, a variation of the Lap Sao drill. Again, I am aware that it is done differently in Wing Chun for different reasons. Neither is better or worse. This is done in the way I do it for a specific reason, because we do it with contact on the elbow, because more often than not, this is a precursor to Dumok. As you can see, she is already very good to go into the counter position, but basically this is a precursor to other things. So, in and of themselves, they are a beautiful dance of hands, and you have to learn how to do the applications from them. So those are positions that happen in a snap second in combat, and then either you have the reflex to use them or not. So if, say, we would not have, again, a hammer fist, please. You have seen me done this. This is actually, as you can see, it is the same motion as here, only without the other hand. So you learn a great deal. And I can imagine a lot of scenarios where I come roll like this over an incoming to do nasty stuff. You see, she's completely, well, perhaps you don't see, I don't know what the camera actually shows, but she is completely off-balanced. Only to show that this works in both directions. Rollen wir drunter durch? Ja. Ja, genau, so. If she rolled like this and pushed down with her elbow, yes, you see, she is unbalancing me. This is still yet a bit beyond her level, so she cannot do it fast, but you can see that my own energy is pulling me down with her help. And you see here she has a beautiful neck crank and can do Pura Kapala and what's not from that. And so this, all the ability to be able to pull that off is practiced with this. So we practice it with the control of the elbow. Also there is all kind of, please, wait with the hand. So, thanks. Of Dumog stuff Dumog pulls, arm wedges, figure fours. There is all kind of stuff you can develop from this. So this is also named Lapsao drills. It's not my name. I didn't come up with it. I just use it. But this is definitely not the Wing Chun way to do it. The Wing Chun way to do it, if again, look, China Boxer's channel, he goes into great detail how to do the Lapsao drill in the Wing Chun way. I recommend when he's able to do them both. But like I said, my channel is not a Wing Chun channel. I'm not qualified enough to teach Wing Chun in any way, so I stick with what I at least know 2 cents about. So we have this, and last but not least we have the famous elbow hubud. Which you see us do here with an elbow that is more silat style-ish, coming from above. You can also do it with more something Thai stylish, coming more on the horizontal lines. There are also changes involved. So we are actually able to do it on both sides. There is that other drill that you saw us do, where she is rolling up with a bong sao-like shape, but it is the same shape as we use for the wedge entry in this, for the wedge entry hubud. When I pull up, she goes to something like tan, forward and press forward, yeah, with forward energy, roll up, roll down, press again, and we have a change. Yeah, very good. This is actually also more a preparation drill. I will frankly admit there is little ultimate combat value to this last drill. However, again, come attack me. You learn a great many things about postural alignment and sensitivity. So as far as combat goes, this drill has no value directly, but it is something that teaches you bodily alignment, sensitivity, and that prepares you to do other stuff. So this is a kind of partner weightlifting with combative side applications, if you wish. And yeah, that was it, almost. Then we have one other drill where we stand like this, and basically suddenly I give her energy, exactly, and she gives me energy, exactly, and the only thing I have to do is keep my posture. If she gives me energy again, suddenly, you see, I actually don't move anywhere. All the movement comes from her, but the whole point is, this, for instance, teaches you how to have a really good Pak Sao structure with only forward energy, which is also very useful if you do knife fighting. Once you have that done, you can do the next step and go with a little bit of distance. I'm roughly a hand with, now give me energy. Exactly, now I just go a little bit forward and still heavy. You see, she misses all the way to Chicago. Well, I don't sacrifice my center line, and I don't have to do very much for this. If we can do it from a handbreadth away, we do it from farther away. Again. And see, although now I come in pretty fast, I still don't sacrifice my center line. And to do the Pak Sao in the right way, this is one of the drills I found on the Awakener 7's channel, extremely useful to learn a very good Pak Sao structure. The Awakener 7, a very good JKD man, a bit provocative, sometimes very colorful language, but I think he is a nice guy, and I definitely know he has good Wing Chun good JKD to offer. I am very sorry. And so those are the drills that we will be going over in great detail over the next weeks. So this was more a primer and introduction to what's lying ahead. Once we're done with this, I will go to a little bit of Dumog applications. And only to show that not only the big guy, I know, if I do it with her, everybody will say, yeah, she is just a girl, of course he can do it. Of course, if she does it with me, everybody will say, yeah, he lets her do it. I guess I have to live with that. But anyway, now she will do the head pull with me. Take me here. She has not learned this yet, so she is learning this right now live. And now don't take my neck, take my head and pull down. You see, there is no way on God's green earth I could resist that, because her whole body weight hanging on my head from an angle that is not straight down, no way I could support this. So this kind of stuff, and we will of course learn how to do all that. Come please. Out of the drills, and we will also learn how to do footwork around these drills. So this is my idea of what I want to share, therefore I call this playlist the Complete Hubud Level 1. I know that the word the Complete Hubud is quite a mouthful, and so it is as complete as I can make it. I try to make it as encyclopedic as possible and as useful as possible. And like I said, this was just meant to be a trailer, and I think we will close it again with doing some free flow drills where we combine them all together. I might add, the training time we are logging is astonishingly slow. We are practicing 10 to maximum 15 minutes a day after breakfast, and not every day, because sometimes my wife is professional professional appointments, that's a word, see? Or I don't have time. So we log astonishingly little training and practice time, and nonetheless, if you on a regular basis practice 10 minutes a day, it's incredible how good you become in a rather short time. It's actually much better than logging 2 hours of hard training once a week, although that's my experience. So enjoy whatever you can see from the camera angle. You can see we are doing this still tappy tappy very lightly, because I use this as a line familiarization drill. And more as a neurological training. I'm also, as you can see, doing very wide swings. The whole thing is there to learn the drill. This is still miles away from actually applying it. We are getting there. And this is just to get the rhythm and the general idea of what the motions can do and what they cannot do. And of course the idea is also to flow along as good as you can, and it also shows me what she can do, what she cannot do, where her strengths are, where her weaknesses are, what her preferred techniques are, and of course, since she is my preferred favorite student, once I know what her favorite techniques are, I will build her specific self-defense program around her favorite techniques, because I think the art should suit the practitioner and not the other way around. So this is more Tai Chi-ish. And you see, there is a good element of fun involved. This was meant as a primer. The first thing I will go into in the next clip will be a detailed analysis of the overhead hubud with the wedge entry and the slap entry, because both go together. The idea why I only use one shape, and basically the idea of going just forward with the shape, is of course in combat you don't have a lot of time, and the more options you have, the worse you are off, and the less options you have, the better you are off. So the idea is ultimately to have just one entry that you practice, and that you practice until you reach St. Never's Day. You just practice one entry, up, middle, low. And once you know how to do that, you can do the same thing on your feet, and then you have something to build from. I know there are opinions that a small-framed person like her should practice more stop kicks and stuff. There is a lot to it, but that will have to wait until later. Rome wasn't built in one day, and I can't show it all in one clip. Much as I would like to do so, I just don't know how to put it all in one clip. But the joy of this is I can make a lot of clips. So tell me what you think. Feedback's always welcome. And yeah, I think that was it. Oh, I helped a friend with his house reconstruction project. And guess what I got? I got timber. And you know me, that translates as wooden dummy. So I'm shortly before building my second version of the of my wooden dummy, because now I have lots of massive timber. And also I got two focus mitts, two beautiful focus mitts, which is incidentally very good because my wife is on the point where she needs to learn to pack some punch. You have seen she is rather good with the flowing drill. Like I said, we are still very tappy, which is okay. But now, just when it's time reaches to pack the punch, I get, out of the blue, two focus mitts. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Of course, the most important application out of Hubud Lubud.